Good evening, Drew.
There he is. How did your unofficial tech support stuff go?
It was fine. It was fine. Everything went great.
Can you talk about it?
Yeah, it was at the end of every marching band year, they do a big it's an award presentation. It's just another excuse to get the band to get together, but also it's also a big opportunity for the band to try to collect all the band fees.
Oh, right.
That didn't get paid. So
Got it.
Money was taken, and it was good.
So what did you have to do?
I was just there for support.
But
luckily it was all like the square readers and stuff like that.
Oh, right. All that stuff again. Yeah.
But it went flawlessly. First time ever. No problems with the squares at all. It was great.
Is that because you got them on actual iPads now?
No, they're not on iPads yet. Soon though. I'm gonna. Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, we talked about that already, but
How you doing?
I'm doing okay, buddy. Couple quick follow-up items. The first one is I want to say thank you to our listeners.
Oh.
I had a note from a friend of the show and listener, Andy, who was responsible for running the Movember fundraiser. You'll recall a few episodes ago, we called it out, and more than one of you apparently donated. So,
well, thanks, listeners.
Yeah, and I know that like a running joke on this podcast is I constantly ask Paul how many listeners we have, and we don't actually know. But some of you are apparently listening and giving money to things that we mention on here. So apparently it was very successful. Andy was super grateful for that. He sent me a really nice note. So I just wanted to take a moment to say that if you did donate to that, thank you very much. I mean, Movember is obviously a very good cause, and it's a thing that is very near and dear to Andy. He goes sort of all out for it every year, and he was just thankful for that. And I'm thankful for everybody who sort of donated to that.
Yeah, thanks everybody.
Yep.
Awesome.
And then man, I'm gonna be that guy for a minute, okay?
Okay.
So my wife and I are celebrating 16 years of marriage.
Oh.
Yeah, our anniversary. So we're recording this on a Saturday because of Paul's unofficial tech support stuff. Our anniversary was yesterday. 16 years. I still don't know what she sees in me. She puts up with so much crap from me, but here we are. She's great. She's upstairs right now watching some weird Christmas movie, and I said, I need to go talk to Paul. And she said, tell Paul I said hi.
Oh, hello.
Yes.
I say hey back.
Yeah. But she did remind me that we're a little late, Paul.
We are a little late.
We're
yes.
You know why we're late, right?
Mm-hmm.
Okay, well, let's get it out of the way. So what are we doing this year?
What are the rules?
Yeah,
I don't know.
Okay, so for listeners who are newer to the podcast, we started a Christmas tradition the first year of our podcast where we bought each other stuff. It's not really a competition, but it is a competition, and Paul is winning. And last year we took a slightly different track where we basically declared a truce, and we set a money limit, and we made it about making donations to places.
Yes.
And I thought that was very wholesome, and I'm willing to do that again, but I'm also willing to listen to other suggestions. I mean, because I'm all for spending money on you.
I have an idea. So I like the charity idea, and I think we should also do that.
Okay.
But I think we should go also do something a little more comical and something that would generate some content.
Okay.
So what I'm thinking of is we each buy each other like the worst Steam game we possibly can find.
The worst Steam game we can find
for the other person, and they have to at least play it for
4 hours.
4 hours.
4 hours.
4 hours.
Yep.
And it has to work on a Steam Deck, or at least Steam Deck ish.
Okay, so the rules are video game on Steam that is Steam Deck compatible.
Yes, doesn't have to be verified. It just has to run.
Okay, but it has to be bad.
It has to be bad.
Like bad, like funny bad, or like bad.
Yeah, I think either way.
Because Listen, man, I don't want to get into it, but my algorithm on Steam, much like all my other algorithms across TikTok and Instagram,
Mhm.
it's nasty, bro. Like I will fuck you up with this challenge if you're not
Okay.
careful.
Okay. All right. Oh, okay.
All right, do we want to set a money limit? I mean, not that games are hella expensive. Like, we're not going to
Yeah.
spend $100, right?
Yeah,
But
I'm also guessing that we start scraping the bottom of the barrel. These games are probably pretty cheap anyway.
okay, and we have to play it. Okay.
4 hours.
Okay,
4 hours.
that is a binding agreement, and then we will come back and talk about what we bought each other, and we'll still do the
Yes.
charity. Let's still do the
Yes.
charity thing.
Yes. Yes.
Okay, so Steam challenge. I'm just putting show notes in here. Charity stuff. Okay, so we'll do the charity thing again. Would you like another donation to the Charles Schultz Museum?
So speaking of that,
Okay, what did they send you?
I get a letter from them about 4 times a year.
Yeah, well, it's a very important cause.
Asking me for more money. And every time I open the mailbox and I see that there, I'm just like, grumble.
Yeah. Okay. Okay, so now let's set a date. So for reasons we'll get into here in a topic,
Okay.
I feel like doing this by next week might be a challenge.
That might be a challenge. Yeah.
Now we could target Thursday the 21st.
Okay.
However, there is a better than average chance that we may need to cancel that day for reasons we'll get into here in a minute.
Okay.
But let's tentatively pencil that for the 21st or that weekend, because that is like Christmas weekend.
It is. Yep.
Okay. So
Okay. I like it.
So the target for our challenge for all of this is we're going to say December 21st. And then obviously tune into the podcast that comes in after that to figure out what we bought each other and how that went. That was a really good idea, Paul. Okay. I have grievances.
Okay.
Because that's what this podcast is for. So, Paul, when's the last time you tried to rent a car?
Wow. It's been a really, really long time.
Okay.
Like, long time.
So the last time I rented a car in earnest was probably 5 years ago. And even then, before that, I didn't rent cars. I mean, ever since the advent of gig economy and ride sharing services, anytime I've had to travel for work or even travel personally for vacation, like I tend to lean on those services because they're relatively quick. A lot of times when I am in a city center, I don't need to go anywhere. Like when I went to Europe, for example, even though like things like Uber aren't really things as much over there in certain countries as it is here.
Okay.
I took public transit because Europe has that, and I don't really rent cars. However, I have some travel coming up, and I won't be specific here because I don't want people to be creepy, but I have some travel coming up where I'm calling it the Drew is a Bad Son tour.
Oh, okay.
So both of my parents moved in the past year and a half, and because I'm a terrible son, I haven't been able to go see where they live. Now, my dad, he moved closer to family in South Carolina. My mom moved to Jacksonville, Florida, where my brother and his wife live. And, before that, they both lived in southwestern Pennsylvania. It was a 3-hour drive. It wasn't a big deal. I would go home a couple times a year, say hi, do holidays, do all that stuff. But ever since my parents have moved, I have not been down to see them. And part of that is due to timing. Part of that was due to me changing jobs. Like, there's a lot of factors that go into that. And, Rocky being older, we're not comfortable leaving him anywhere. One of us should be home with him. And when Mandy goes on vacation or something, I usually stay home with the little guy. So there's a lot of factors at play. But in order for me to sort of do this, I'm going to be taking some time where I'm going to travel down to see my parents. And this is something that's been in the works for a while now. And I was sort of trying to figure out the best possible way to do this. So I don't know, how familiar you are with geography, but like Florida and South Carolina are not especially close to each other.
No, no.
So like my original plan was to fly to fly to Florida, sorry. Fly to Jacksonville and spend a couple days with my mom and my brother and his wife and see everybody, and then rent a car and drive from Jacksonville, Florida to South Carolina. And then because of where my father lives in South Carolina, he's not close to a major metropolitan area. He's more towards the coast. He's not quite near Myrtle Beach either. I mean, I guess he technically is, but he's in that kind of general northeastern part of the state. And then I was gonna like fly home from Charleston or Wilmington or even Myrtle Beach, and somehow get back to Columbus. Well, factors being what they are, the flights, when it came time to book flights and do all this other stuff, like it just wasn't something that was going to work out that way. So the plan now is I'm going to fly one way to Jacksonville, Florida, rent a car in Florida, drive to South Carolina, and then drive all the way home to Columbus.
Oh.
Now, yeah.
Oh, okay.
Now look, I've driven from Myrtle Beach to Columbus many, many, many times. It's a vacation spot for our family. We have family who live in North Carolina and South Carolina. Like, yeah, that's a long drive. It's like 9-10 hours, depending on how fast you drive, how many times you stop, that type of thing. It's really not a big deal. It's a relatively pleasant drive, except for like when you're in the armpit of like Athens, Ohio for like an hour, right? Like it's really not that bad. And I can do that drive. But if you think about it, like Jacksonville to where my father lives is about 6 hours. So I'm, over the course of 4 days, I'm going to be doing about 18-ish hours of driving. But, again, that wasn't the original plan. It's just that when I looked at flights and I looked at availability, like getting home for the weekend of Christmas, which is like one of the hard deadlines that I had, would have necessitated some like really creative flights and getting to airports to make sure that I had plenty of time to get home. So that really factored into decision. So when it came time to, book this trip, I had been looking at, Delta.com and other, flight websites. I was looking at rental car websites. Like everything looked like it was going to work. But when it came time to actually book this trip, I was in for a little bit of a surprise. The first one was just how expensive it is to rent a car. Really? So okay. Let's play a little game, Paul. I'm not renting a luxury car. I'm not even, and I'm not renting like a compact car because with as far as I'm driving, like I'm not going to cram myself into like a Ford Focus for
a sedan.
Yeah, a sedan, right?
Sedan.
So a sedan, from, well, first of all, like let me just give you a hint. A lot of these rental car companies don't charge for mileage. It's usually per day now.
Per day, yeah.
Used to be mileage was a thing, but now it's mostly per day. What do you think it would cost for a mid-size sedan for, let's say, 3 days of renting a car?
$500?
You're not even close.
Neat. How much, Drew?
It was almost $900.
Wow.
Yeah, so taxes and fees, and like, look, I'm not a guy who opts for any of the protection on cars. Like, that's why I have credit cards. Like, I'm not buying any of the extra shit that they try to sell you or anything like that. So these rental cars, right? So first of all, let's talk about some of the challenges that went into this particular scenario. So first of all, actually finding a rental car company that would let me do a one-way rental. That was sort of hurdle number one.
Okay, yeah.
4 out of the 5 big chains that I could sort of rattle off the top of my head, right? So like Avis, Budget, Hertz, National Enterprise, like only one of those companies would let me do this particular rental. A lot of these other places would either say there were no cars available, which was a fucking lie. Because if I change my reservation to say, hey, I'm picking up a car in Jacksonville and driving to South Carolina and dropping it off at like Charleston Airport, they had all the cars in the world. These one-way rentals across like, the Eastern Seaboard, very few companies were willing to let me do that. And I was really trying to understand why. Like, I don't know if it was a mileage issue or the fact that like maybe there's too many cars sitting at the Columbus airport for me to drop off one more. I mean, just, and again, it wasn't even a question of availability, right? Like, this isn't the week of Christmas. There weren't like a run on cars. And like, look, I'm with you. Like, I don't feel like a lot of people rent cars. No. So like, I don't really think it's an availability issue, and like take my money, right? Like, let me do this. Because clearly there were other companies like Hertz. So Hertz was the only company that was going to let me do this. Like, they were the only rental car company that would accept this particular reservation. Every other rental car company was like, nope, can't do it, boss. Like, just nope, don't even bother. Yep. Huh. Yep. Now, if I had maybe rented a car, driven to South Carolina, and then rented another car and driven, but like, I'm not doing that. Like, just give me one car, let me do this trip, and let me be on my way. So that was like sort of challenge number one. Now the price to me was a little bit shocking. I thought for sure that, you know, if you like go to a rental car website and you start browsing rates and you start looking at these things, like, first of all, none of those numbers are real. Like, none of them are real. If you join their stupid Gold Club, President's Club, Emerald Club, Dollar Butthole Liquor Club, or whatever, like, title, I'm sure they're Dollar Butthole Liquors. Let's see if that one passes the title check. If you join all of their clubs, like, you will immediately get like internet discounts and all this stuff other applied. But like, even then, right, the prices were just astronomically high. And wow. And again, I don't get it, because like, I remember like my first job that I ever had, renting a car was just something you did. Like, unless you were in like New York, San Francisco, Chicago, you really didn't, you know, you would take a taxi. But most places we would have to travel for work: Las Vegas, Iowa, Florida, Nevada, other places in Nevada, Washington. Like, we would rent cars, and that's what we would do. Get to the airport, rent a car, have a car for a couple of days, drop it off at the airport, go home.
That's what you did.
It was like maybe $300 for like a week. And you know, some of those did mileage back then, but some of them were unlimited miles, like, you know, and like, I even think that I like opted for extra insurance just because I, you know, had heard some horror stories from people that had been like in accidents with rental cars, but like, the company was paying for it, so I didn't care. So it was just like, whatever. But like, looking at what they were charging for even like small, modest cars for unlimited mileage per day was ridiculous, to say nothing of minivans. Wow. So like, I know people, so I was sort of semi-prepared for this, because I know people who have kids that play hockey, and like, travel hockey is like a nightmare. I mean,
I can imagine.
Any travel sport, right? And maybe, and I was going to kind of gauge you on this, because I don't know if this is a thing that comes up for like travel band competitions. I don't know. But like, people will rent those like little like vans, right? Like, you can go rent a van, load up 4 or 5 kids in it with all their equipment. And, you know, because like, hell, I think most families that have like a large SUV, I think sometimes struggle to like haul everybody's shit around. So like, everybody that I talk to that rents cars is usually for large family trips or travel stuff. And like, even they have complained in the past about how expensive it was. But I just thought, you know, how bad could it be for like a mid-sized car? And I was just like absolutely shocked. And then the other sort of like cherry on top of this thing is that all these websites are just awful. Like,
yeah.
Now you're a pie hole enjoyer, right?
No, I don't pie hole. No,
but you ad block.
I do it all in the browser.
Okay, but okay.
Yeah.
So let me ask you a question. How many websites do you visit where people host like their JavaScript on some domain that you have to whitelist?
It happens. Yeah.
Yeah. Apparently that is like par for the course for rental car companies, because none of these websites work correctly unless you turn off your ad browser.
Yeah. And there's more and more companies that like, or sites that like, if you're blocking ads, like the website just doesn't fucking load. Like,
and like,
it doesn't work.
And sometimes it's like really, really obvious, right? Like there'll just be huge parts of the page that are broken.
Yeah.
Or like,
it's all white.
Or buttons don't work. And I'm like, okay, well, I got to go disable my ad blocker. Hertz did me dirty though. So like, the website was acting weird, but I just thought just because they were bad at websites, it wasn't immediately obvious to me that like I had an ad blocker situation going on here. So I would go through the process of doing the reservation, which by the way, I'm like flipping back and forth between multiple tabs, multiple rental car companies. Like I was done with the internet at like 10:18 in the morning that day, but I powered through, got to the place where I could actually like start typing in my information to reserve my car. And every time I would type this shit in, it would first of all, I had to create an account, and it didn't matter. It didn't matter how hard I tried to follow their password guidance. It just would not accept any passwords. That's because it wanted a symbol, but not an underscore.
Underscore is not symbol-y enough.
Yeah. And it was clear, like you couldn't have spaces and you couldn't have certain characters, but underscores weren't on the list. And if you had if you had more than one character, apparently that freaked it out. So like I had to conquer that troll, right? I had to conquer that first. Then I got to the place where I could actually reserve the car. And I would get through that. It'd be like, oops, better start over, bud. I couldn't, and an error happened. But then once I started getting emails that apparently I had 6 reservations. Yeah. So apparently it was reserving cars. So then I had to like reach out to them and like get their assurances that I wasn't going to be charged.
All cars.
Yeah, oops, all cars, right? That said they were going to like meet their quota at the fucking Jacksonville airport thanks to me, right? Like,
yeah. Oh, Mr. Furgewell, here are your 6 vehicles.
Yes, which one will we be taking today? So then I had to like call and then it was like, okay, it's time to talk to a human. Like I'm done with computers for today. And then actually getting a human on the phone, of course, is a challenge, and getting all that resolved and everything. So long story short, like I don't know who out there needs to hear this, but like renting a car is awful. And I think there's a reason that industry is in decline. Now, I'm sure there are people who legitimately need to rent cars. I think there might be some people who can't afford cars and need cars on like a situational basis. I don't know how anybody affords this. I mean, I'm certainly not a person who can't afford this, but I feel really bad paying as much as I am for the short amount of time that I'm going to have this vehicle.
Yeah.
But how other people do this and make this work, it just beats the shit out of me. So yeah, I don't know when the last time you actually had to do this.
Man, I honestly think the last time I rented a car rented a car that I actually drove in was probably like 2 decades ago. Yeah, that sounds about right. About 2 decades ago.
And was it for work, or was it actually
it was for work. It was for work. Yeah.
Like and like there's this whole thing where like if you're under 25, like you can't rent a car. Like I used to know why that was. And like I remember when I was 25, I went to a wedding in upstate New York, and I had an easier time renting a car then, even though they gave me the shittiest Ford Taurus that I think that has ever been manufactured or driven. They're like, "Oh, you're 25? Here." Like it was, but even then, like it wasn't even that expensive to have for that period of time when I was like near broke. So, yeah. So I don't know who out there is trying to rent cars. Would love to hear your experiences, or like if you know people who rent cars on the regs, if they have any more tips for me. But goddamn.
According to this article that I just found on Google, the typical cost of renting a car has increased 48% since May 2019.
48%.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, yeah. It's when you get to all the taxes and like, by the way, my one way airline ticket and Comfort Plus, like not even steerage class, was like $350. Like it was like nothing. It was like nothing. Now, that's to say nothing of the cost of gas that I'm going to put in this thing. Like, I'll probably need like 2 or 3 fill-ups.
Yep.
Because I'm sure it'll be like a little 4-cylinder, maybe a 6-cylinder, but I'm sure it'll be, relatively fuel efficient. So, I mean, when I had my little BMW 3 Series, I could do a trip to Myrtle Beach in 2 tanks of gas.
Okay.
So driving between Florida and South Carolina plus South Carolina to home, I mean, I'm sure I'll be in for $150, $200 worth of gas on top of that. Buddy.
Well, I hope you enjoy your trip.
I mean, I'm looking forward to it. I mean, like I said, this is the Drew's a Bad Son apology tour, so it's like I really got to get down there and see them.
Yeah.
And you know what? I'm sure that if I had done this like at separate times and seen them, but and like my dad and my mom are, have been up to see us, right? So like it's my turn, right? It's my turn. Yeah. So it is what it is. Yeah. And I'm not mad about it. Like this is like, as much as I'm complaining about this whole rental car experience, like, I'm glad I get to go see my family, but man, I just did not think that it was going to be that much of a hassle to actually do this. Like, I don't know why they're so, I've done the research, right? Cause I'm a truth seeker and I'm trying to figure out like why, but I can't find any good reasons.
Wow.
Anywho, let's talk about Paul's stuff. What do you got?
So, I don't know how many episodes ago we both pre-ordered some Raspberry Pi 5s.
We did. And did you get yours?
I did.
Cool. I never got a tracking number.
Oh, no.
I don't know where mine is. So when I saw this show up today, I'm like, oh yeah, we did order those. And like I have my order confirmation. But I looked in my spam folder, looked everywhere. I don't know where mine is. So you got yours.
Mine showed up on Monday, I think.
Wow, good for you.
Yeah. I've powered it on. It works.
Great.
I don't know what to do with it. It's sitting in a box right now.
Well,
I don't know what should I do with my Raspberry Pi 5, Drew?
I mean, I think you should. Do Pi-hole.
I don't want to do Pi-hole.
Why don't you want to do that?
Because that's
okay. Fine. You won't.
Okay. So I do not want to have the conversation with my wife to explain, hey, if your website's not working, this is what you have to do to get it to work because Pi-hole's being aggressive. I don't want to do Pi-hole. I don't want to do it. I don't want to do it. It's not.
For all the reasons we talked about in the last topic, right?
Also, like, I want my network to be as like brain simple as possible. I don't want to do anything out of the ordinary. I just want to use my ears and they work. Pi-hole is the opposite of what I want to do.
Okay, I mean it's literally one change, but it could work.
I don't want to do it.
Okay, fine.
Sounds awful. Sounds awful. Ugh.
What about?
I don't know. Okay, what should I do?
Well, I mean, how fiddly do you want to get with it?
I'll get super fiddly as long as it's not Pi-hole.
Okay,
I'll get super fiddly.
All right. So here's what I think you should do.
Okay.
Because this is what I currently use one of my Raspberry Pis for. One of my old Raspberry Pi 3s.
Okay.
Set up a FlightAware ADS-B receiver.
Ooh. Oh, yeah.
So
okay.
So FlightAware. For those of you who don't know, FlightAware is a really cool website that you can do. Where like you can track people's websites or not people's websites, people's airplanes, right? Or any flight. And it's a really cool website because like if you go on there and you type in like Delta, let's say DL226, whatever, right? Let's see here. Delta, let me just find one. Look up Delta flight 22 or DL25. Yeah, so like you can look up any flight and it'll show you the current statistics of that flight. It'll show you historically like what that flight does. Because remember that like you're like if you book like a plane ride, you have a flight number, but that flight number corresponds to a route. And like that flight number is like used many, many times a day, depending on the route.
Okay.
So like Delta 25 is from Cape Town, South Africa to Atlanta. And you can look up the current status of that flight. You can look up past flights, if they, their on time percentage, like what kind of airplane they're doing. And like, I like it because I can look up information about the aircraft and how old it is because you know me and I don't like flying and I like to know everything about the airplane that I'm flying on. Anyway, it's a really cool website. Now, airplanes have a system built into them, and it's called ADS.
Yeah.
And what that is it's called Automatic Dependent Surveillance Broadcast. And what it is every aircraft puts out a signal that identifies itself. And it has to do this to meet certain flight requirement rules and everything. And mostly it's for other airplanes to know that other airplanes are around. But it's also for ground tracking stations to know, like, if there's an airplane nearby. It's radio frequency based. I believe it's UHF, maybe VHF. I forget. But it's an integral part of how these things work. Now, FlightAware is a system that relies on official ground receivers, but it's also like a crowdsource type thing. And they have a solution to where you can set up your Raspberry Pi to basically be a receiver of this information that then forwards this information to FlightAware. And this is cool for two reasons. Number one, it provides more data to a website that's really, really cool. Secondly, it gives you automatic access to all FlightAware features without paying for a subscription.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. So you basically...
So if you contribute, you get to see everything for free.
Yes.
Got it. Okay.
And thirdly, the software that runs this, you can log into locally, and it's a really, really great way to get weather radar in your house. So I'm going to put a link in the show notes here. They actually have a really handy little guide for setting this up on a Raspberry Pi. It gives you all of the information.
So I'm going to need to buy like an antenna, right?
Yes, you need an antenna. But they actually sell kits, and I have one. And last time I looked, they were still on Amazon. Let me find a link real quick.
Okay.
Amazon.com FlightAware radio, I believe is what we want to look for. Let's see here. FlightAware. Is it 2 words?
It looks like it's 1 word. Capital. Well, it's smushed together. Capital F, capital A.
Let's see here. FlightAware ADS-B USB receiver. FlightAware, yeah. Here, check out this page. This is the one I bought. So like that Pro Stick is something you can order. Okay. So you can order them directly from FlightAware themselves. They used to sell them on Amazon. I'm a little shocked that I didn't see it on Amazon. Maybe they stopped. But you can plug this directly into your Raspberry Pi, and look, they've actually have that thing there, right? So you could buy the whole little kit. Let's see here. Our products, PiAware kits. Like you could buy the whole kit if you wanted to, which you don't need. No. PiAware. Let's see here. Antennas. Yeah, like
it looks like it looks like it just plugs in.
Yeah, so you need the dongle. Mm-hmm. You need an antenna.
Yeah, I need
and you probably need a filter. So you probably need 3 things.
Okay. Yeah. Okay. So I'm actually Here we go. I'm on the FlightAware actual like product website.
Yep.
And it looks like they have the Aware
so
antenna.
you can set this up. Like that one antenna is magnetic, so like you can basically set this up, set it in a corner of your house near a window, because like UHF and VHF are line of sight, right? So like set that up there so it has a good view of the sky, and it starts pumping out data. You can actually see planes that are flying near your house, and all that information, like when you register your account, like all that gets forwarded, and then like you get access to like all the FlightAware stuff.
Cool.
Yeah, it's a neat little project. It's actually pretty straightforward to set up. And then, like I said, when the PiAware, which is like the software package that's running on your Raspberry Pi, like that's something you can sign into, and then you can see like all the flights in and around you, and it's a really cool little thing. And like I use it just mostly to see like weather radar, because it's like very, very up to date, and it's like cool. Way more responsive than like the Weather Channel, which is again is full of like JavaScript and trash, right? It's like literally just like my little personal weather radar system.
So there are apparently two different frequencies.
Yes.
Of antenna. Is one better? One is more expensive. Is that the better one, or like there's 978 and 1090?
But you can receive data from either the 1090 or I forget. Radio signal filters, 1090, bandpass filter. I think it's going to depend on what antenna you buy.
Yeah.
The indoor antenna, which is the coil, it does both.
Okay.
Yeah. So unless you wanted to buy a particular antenna, and I think that has to do with the country you're in. So
Okay.
I would just be safe and buy the little, 17 centimeter 2 coil thing. It has a longer cable.
Okay,
So,
I see it there.
You have to do a little more cable management. Like that's the one I use and it works fine.
Okay. Perfect. Okay.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, that one does both. Perfect.
Yep. So yeah,
Cool.
that would be a fun little project for you, I think.
I like it. And of course I'm going to get the Pro Stick Plus because it's $4 more.
Yeah. I don't know what the Pro Stick, I think maybe it has some additional features, but yeah, that's so you get all that.
Increases the range 10 to 20% over a Pro Stick in environments where filtering is beneficial.
Okay.
Apparently has the filter built in. There you go.
The Pro Stick has a filter built in. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
Cool.
Yeah.
So yeah, I was going to say, like, I think of all the projects you can possibly do with that, that's probably like, it obviously requires you to spend more money, but like, I think it would be a fun little thing to set up.
Yeah, that actually sounds pretty cool. Thanks, Drew.
Yeah. Hey, I did good.
That's what I needed.
I would say like get like a Raspberry Pi camera and do like some image detection stuff. Like that's kind of what I've been playing with a little bit in my spare time, but that's a little more finicky because like getting cameras to work with Raspberry Pis that aren't official Raspberry Pi cameras, like that's a whole thing.
That sounds awful.
Yeah. I mean, it's like Linux drivers times 8 because like getting anything to work in Linux, even though it is getting better. If I'm being completely fair, like getting that to work with Linux, and then also remembering that you're on a very, very specific type of Linux for a very, very certain type of processor, like
and you're an ARM processor. Yeah.
Like packages that should just work don't work, and it's just like ugh. So
Yep.
All right, I'm scared for the next one.
So Drew, I don't live close to the city. I live not quite in the middle of nowhere, but pretty darn close. Okay. And I live in places where the cellular signal can be hit or miss, depending on where you're at.
We have discussed this very topic, and I thought that switching to Verizon was a solution to this problem.
Okay. It has helped, but there are still some areas where I do not get a cellular signal.
Like areas like in your house?
No, out of the house. Like a prime example is I pick up my daughter 2 days a week from school so she can bring her French horn home. So I sit in the middle school parking lot waiting for her to be done with school, and I take her home. That the pickup area of that parking lot, there's no signal, none, just gone, no signal. I might just don't plan on you're gonna be listening to podcasts or the radio because you're not surfing the internet. It's all gone. Recently, and I don't know whether it was an update or when this happened, but I have started to notice that if I am in an area where there is no signal, and I drive to an area where I know there is a signal, my phone just doesn't connect. It's like when it loses its signal, it is extremely sluggish to realize there is a cellular connection and get back on it.
Okay.
More so, I've never really noticed this being a problem before. And like I can kind of track this because, I use CarPlay, so I see the cellular signal kind of like, on my, in-car display. And I've never noticed a problem before. Like I'd leave the parking lot and I'd be driving down the road and boom, 1-2 bars, easy peasy. Now I can get all the way home and my phone still just like, no bars for you, Paul. No phone, no work. Uh, and what does work is if I go into my settings and go into cellular and I turn off the line, not even just turning off cellular data, I turn off the line and then turn it back on and it will connect. In fact, I've had to do this so often, I've actually made I've made a Siri shortcut so I can press one button.
Wow.
And it turns it off, waits a few seconds, and turns it back on.
Okay.
It just bothers me because this has never been a problem before. I don't know whether it's an iOS problem and like I just need to wait for a patch, or if my phone's slowly dying, or
Okay. All right. Okay. So I'm gonna help. I'm gonna help.
Okay.
So first of all, let you and I are technology professionals.
Mm-hmm.
We can say that we are
Yes.
those things. If we're nothing else, we are technology professionals. So
Mm-hmm.
have you cross-validated this particular behavior with your wife's phone?
I have not.
So if it was a carrier issue, I would reckon to think that your wife's phone would experience the same behavior as you, right?
True. Yeah.
So I think that that's probably step one, right?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. So let's assume that it's, your wife's phone experiences the issue. Then you could probably say, oops, I live in a rural area and it is what it is.
It is what it is. Yeah.
But let's say it doesn't.
Mm-hmm.
What do you think your next course of action would be then?
I don't know.
I do.
Because like, okay. So I have a couple things I was thinking about doing.
Mm-hmm.
First was just like giving my phone a nice clean start. Like, doing that whole, like, just wiping it and then pulling down all my stuff again. I've been thinking about doing that. I've been thinking about how awkward the conversation is going to be if I go to the Genius Bar and say, I live down with the cows, or sometimes my phone don't work. Yeah. So do you have, what is your idea?
All right.
Drew?
So I was having my own set of problems with my phone. And I can't remember if we talked about this or not. I was having an issue where my phone thought that it was 800 feet to the left of my current GPS position.
That's interesting.
So like I would be driving down the road and my CarPlay GPS would basically act like as if I was driving through a bunch of houses. But like my car GPS is fine.
Uh-huh.
So clearly like my phone's GPS reception was kind of shoddy.
Yes.
Now, Paul, have you done a carrier like settings reset on your phone?
I have not.
That would be the first thing that I would try. And I'm trying to find, reset. There, if you Google it, you can reset your network settings. Where is it? There's a way to reset your carrier settings on your phone. And I forget where I did it, but that seemed to at least make that problem happen less. Or I guess I haven't noticed it happening since. But then again, I'm really not usually in
settings, general, transfer or reset device, reset network settings.
Yeah, you may want to try that.
That's Wi-Fi networks and passwords, cellular settings, and VPN and APN settings you've used before. So I have to reconnect to my Wi-Fi.
Right,
that's not a problem.
Right, but that will also like force any sort of carrier updates to apply. So like, maybe there's like additional settings that like, apply to Verizon to this phone because you did switch carriers with this phone, I think, right?
I did, yes.
So I don't know, like that's not out of the realm of possibility.
I will have to try that.
Yeah, that would be the first thing I would try, and then the second thing I would try is like your daughter has an iPhone, right?
Mm-hmm. Well, she's still an AT&T.
Oh, okay. So it's not a true apples to apples. So you need someone on Verizon to like cross-validate this. It's a peer-reviewed troubleshooting scenario.
And usually when I pick my daughter keeps her phone off during school because she's good like that.
Arabelle's such a good girl.
She is. She really is. She was. I'm bragging. She's probably gonna be super embarrassed if she ever hears this. She was Viking of the Month at her middle school.
Oh,
for
her and
November,
Leif
December.
Erikson.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yes,
Okay.
Yeah.
What does that mean? What is Viking of the Month?
She gets a certificate.
She doesn't get like a ram's horn.
No.
Oh,
They just pick one kid. They pick one student who is, I don't know, doing real good, and she won it.
Was it for being like a good citizen?
It's academic.
Oh, okay. So
and behavior, academic and behavior.
Okay.
Yeah.
Good for her.
Yeah.
Does anybody in your family listen to this?
No. It actually kind of hurts my feelings a little bit that no one in my family listens to it.
Mandy does the thing where she'll listen eventually.
Okay.
And I think my dad listens from time to time, but I think that's it. I have a couple cousins I think that listen also from time to time, although I haven't gotten any feedback from them recently, so I'm just going to assume that they don't. Yeah. Probably over it.
Yeah. I mean, we have. I'm looking at downloads. I'm bringing this up. All right, I like the unique downloads because the numbers are bigger.
Yeah.
I mean, we have dropped off since like July.
Like how bad?
So in June we had 796 unique downloads.
Really?
In August we had 451.
Oh.
And September 309, November 156, and so far in December 54. We've only had one episode, so
yeah. And
which tells me right now there's 54 people who are still subscribed to our podcast.
And if you're one of those 54 people, thank you. Thank you for being true besties. Because just going to remind you, this isn't for you. This is for me and Paul. So we don't really care, but we thank you.
Well, I do appreciate it.
We appreciate it, but we're still going to do this podcast one way or a fucking another. We're going to keep doing this podcast. Okay. So that is that the only problem you're having with your phone? That is. And you didn't get a new fancy titanium phone, right?
No, I did not.
I didn't either.
I did not. All right, I'm going to try that. So we're only at 47 minutes. I have one more super quick topic.
Okay, let's do it.
Quick. Okay, I am going to drop a link in the show notes.
Oh, okay.
For you.
Okay.
Myself, Paul Baylor. I have never been to a music festival.
Okay.
Ever. Never done it. I've traveled for concerts. I've done everything, but I've never gone to a music festival. Columbus is home. It used to be called Rock on the Range, and now it is called the Sonic Temple Festival.
Okay.
They have it every spring in the historic Crew Stadium. And by the way, congratulations, Columbus Crew, on winning the MLS Cup today. I decided, kind of on a whim, so the tickets for the Sonic Temple just went on sale this week. And I told myself, if I happened to catch the sale and they still had VIP tickets available, because I am a very important person.
Absolutely.
I was going to buy a ticket and I was going to go. And my plan is I'm going to go by myself. I want to show up when I want to show up. I want to see the bands I want to see. I want to leave when I want to leave. I want to sit down when I want to sit down. Get a drink when I want to get a drink. It's all about me. It's all about Paul being selfish. So there was, oddly enough, VIP tickets still available. And I bought one, and I bought the whole premium parking pass add-on because why not? I was just throwing money down the toilet. And I'm going to go see Sonic Temple in May.
Okay. You can't see me, but I have my hand raised.
Okay. Yes, Drew.
Okay. I have questions.
Mm-hmm.
All right, so I am familiar with Sonic Temple. This is absolutely not anything that I would ever want to do because it's way too many people who have not showered for 4 straight days, and I'm worried about that just for a whole bunch of reasons. So my first question is, you said you bought a VIP pass for all 4 days?
Yes.
Oof. Okay. Okay. So you're going to be there all 4 days. Now I'm looking at the lineup here. And I think it's hilarious that some people get their band's logos and some people don't.
It is real cute.
Okay, so
well, it's only like everybody. Yeah, like the further you go down the page, the less likely you are to have your logo.
Okay,
Yeah,
all right.
yeah,
Okay,
yeah.
so let's just walk through this for people who can't be in front of a computer right now. So Thursday, we have Disturbed, Evanescence, Mudvayne, Theory, a Theory of a Dead Man. Sorry.
There's 4 stages. Okay.
Okay.
4 stages.
Yep.
So what you're seeing is the top stage is the main stage. That's the one that's actually inside of the Crew Stadium field.
Okay.
Okay. The other 3 stages are actually outside the stadium. Okay.
Okay. So
those are where the plebs go, and that's I'll be spending most of my time.
Okay. So that's where I'm going with this, right? So like I'm looking through this list here, and okay, let's play a quick little game here. Which band is Paul going to see?
Okay. So on.
Oh no! I want to guess. Okay. So Thursday.
So you want to do each stage?
Yeah.
Okay. So on Thursday, I'm only interested in the main stage in one band.
I'm gonna say it's probably POD.
It is not.
Is it Disturbed?
No.
Ooh. Is it Drowning Pool?
No.
It can't be Evanescence.
It is not.
Okay, then I'm out. Who is it?
It's Mudvayne.
You're a Mudvayne
90s
fan.
new metal, baby. Yeah, I'm all about that.
Well, I just didn't associate them with being metal.
Okay, but they're new. They're not. They're new metal. New metal.
Okay.
New metal.
Okay.
Okay. The second stage on Thursday, there's nobody.
You don't want to see Judas Priest?
No. No. There's nobody.
So
okay.
that
also the third stage, there's nobody.
I would see Cypress Hill. I saw Cypress Hill when I was in high school.
Yeah.
Which says a lot about me. Okay, so then the fourth stage, though. Boy, there's a lot of bands I don't know. Frank Carter and the Rattlesnakes. who are you seeing? Who are you seeing on stage 4? Machine Head.
I'm interested. I'd go see Machine Head.
Okay, yeah, that's such a standout.
Yeah. I'm not a super Machine Head fan, but I have heard that they do like a really good show. So yeah, I would go see Machine
Okay,
Head.
so you're gonna see like 2 bands on Thursday.
Yes.
So you're gonna drive all the way up there, go in, have a couple drinks, see 2 bands, and go home.
Yeah.
All right. So then Friday rolls around.
Okay.
Main stage. We have the original Misfits, Falling in Reverse, Seether, Anthrax, and 3 other bands I don't know.
Don't care.
Nobody on there.
Don't care.
You don't care about Seether?
No.
Is it Anthrax metal?
Yeah, they're like one of the big 4, but I'm not a big thrash fan, so no.
God, there's so many subgenres of metal. Okay. Second stage, Rise Against, Sum 41. Nobody?
Actually, Black Veil Brides. I would go see Black Veil Brides.
Okay, Black Veil Brides. Mr. Bungle. Okay, so you're going to go see Code Orange, though.
I am going to go see
Okay, because Code Orange, like, that screams Paul. You've talked about Code Orange before.
Yes, absolutely going to go see Code Orange.
Okay, and then anybody on the fourth stage?
Yes. One, you want to guess?
Ooh, okay, Lacuna Coil.
No.
Okay, Fuming Mouth?
Nope.
Atreyu?
No. Atreyu? No. It's Avatar.
It's Avatar. Okay. Have we talked about Avatar?
Probably. I've seen them a couple times so far. They're good. Their lead singer dresses like a creepy clown. It's pretty cool.
Okay. So there's like 3 bands you want to see on Friday. Well, two for sure and some maybes.
Yeah.
All right.
Okay.
Saturday. Okay, now we're getting somewhere, right? Pantera. You're going to go see Pantera, right?
I will go see Pantera.
I thought you would. Because you're not going to see Stain. You're certainly not going to see Breaking Benjamin.
No. And honestly, mostly going to see Pantera is out of respect.
It's kind of like, who came? Yeah, they walked so everybody else could run. Yeah.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. It's exactly.
Okay. Second stage. I don't know any of these people.
Okay. So actually the second stage on Thursday was one of the bands there's like 3 major bands that when I saw they were all there, I had not seen them before. It kind of cinched a deal for me. And for Thursday on the second stage, that is Kitty.
You mean Saturday?
That's what I meant. Saturday. Kitty.
What is Kitty?
So Kitty is a all-female metal Yeah.
Okay, I'm looking at a picture of them. They look very upset with me.
They're from Canada, and when was Kitty's first album? Hold on.
Kitty. They just look very disappointed in me.
Kitty first album. It was 1999. That was amongst like some of my first like introduction into more extreme vocals was through Kitty.
Okay, hold on. Are they on Spotify?
Oh, absolutely.
Okay, hold on. Yeah. You said extreme vocals.
So like, okay, so they go back and forth between cleans and screams. What is a good song? Because some of their songs
There's a song called Get Off, and then parentheses, you can eat a dick.
You can eat a dick. Yep. I mean, I would
think I'm a whore?
Mm-hmm. Just play Brackish.
Brackish. Okay, I'm going to play Brackish.
Uh-huh.
Okay. Okay, she's singing like a normal person. Okay, so they're singing too fast for me to understand what's happening.
There you go. Yeah, there you go. So Kitty. I'm very excited to see Kitty.
Okay, that's Kitty.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, and they have an album called Spit.
They do.
Okay.
They do.
Do you have any other records?
Yeah, I have on vinyl I have both Spit and Oracle. Their first two albums.
Okay. All right.
Yeah.
Cool.
Mm-hmm.
Interesting. Now Spotify's classing them as nu metal.
Yeah. Yes. Yeah.
Okay.
That tracks. They came out during that nu metal time. They got some radio play. Yeah. Kitty. There you go.
All right. Third stage on Saturday.
Mm-hmm. Nobody.
Okay. Yeah. I don't. Okay. What about the fourth stage?
The fourth stage.
Okay. So hold on. Before you say anything, there's a band on there that uses a font that I'm sure has words in it, but it probably screams like something in flames. I don't know what it is.
Close. Okay. Close.
What is it?
That is Slaughter to Prevail.
Slaughter to Prevail. Okay.
Mm-hmm. Okay. So that is the second band when I saw they were playing that kind of cinched it for me.
Okay.
Slaughter to Prevail is a extreme metal, maybe metalcore adjacent. I don't know. They're from Russia. You may have accidentally come across this particular the lead singer. He goes by the name of Alex Terrible. He is very big on YouTube and TikTok doing like metal covers. He is probably, in my opinion, the second best metal vocalist that is currently playing today.
High praise.
He is ridiculous. In fact, like there are videos of him during the live shows, he will get the entire like venue to be quiet, and then he will sing unmiked, and you can still hear him like in the back.
So he's on tour. Ridiculous. Okay.
Yes.
Okay.
Yes. I would not even tell you to play a second of Slaughter to Prevail because it is very, very, very intense.
Right. It might kill me. Got it.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Definitely. It's not for normies. It's not for normies.
Got it. Okay.
No.
So that wraps up Saturday, and then Sunday, I'm assuming you're going to see Limp Bizkit.
No.
Okay. So Saliva's playing on the main stage.
Yep.
Okay. So you don't care about any of these people? Slipknot.
Slipknot.
Yeah, I was gonna say Slipknot sounds like it's you.
I have not seen Slipknot live. I want to see Slipknot live. It's been on my bucket list. Just because their live shows they're high production value. So I'm very excited to see Slipknot. That was the third band when I saw.
So let me ask you a question. Let me ask you a question here. Mm-hmm. So this is a 4-day music festival, right? Is Sunday the big day or Saturday the big day? I feel like if it's looking like Sunday's the big day.
I would say Sunday's the big day.
Yeah, because on the second stage we have none other than 311.
Yeah, don't care. Have
you seen anybody on the second stage?
No.
Okay, fourth stage, Baron. You're gonna go see Baron.
In fact, I don't think I'm interested. Okay, Kitty's on the second stage, so okay, yeah. Honestly, on the last day, it's really just Slipknot.
Okay.
To be honest, I could go see Baroness. They're fine. Yeah.
How many songs you think they're gonna do?
I'm guessing on the main stage, I'm guessing they're going to probably play like an hour, 15 minutes.
Okay.
I'm guessing on the other stages are probably 45 or 30-minute sets. I don't know. I've never been, so it's going to be new to me. It's going to be new.
Interesting. Okay, so
Mm-hmm.
I'm going to assume that Old Cruise Stadium is roughly equidistant between my house and your house.
Mm-hmm.
But if you need a place to like, refresh yourself and shower and poop in peace, like
I'm gonna come home every night.
Okay.
I'm gonna come home.
All right.
Yeah. I'm not camping out. I'm not staying in a hotel.
Yeah, there's some people that go. There's some people I know and that go there and do the whole 4-day thing. And
yeah. No. No. I want to come home. I want to sleep in my bed. I want to take a shower.
Okay,
like I said, I'm in no rush to get there when it opens. I'm just gonna show up. Like I said, I bought the premium parking pass, which is like. It's like right in front, right beside. In fact, it's right by the VIP entrance because, of course, it is. So, like, I'm just going to show up when I want.
So
see the
you
bands
bought.
I want and leave.
So what package did you buy?
I just bought the 4-day VIP.
4-day VIP. I don't even see that in here.
Yeah. So if you go on passes, and it's like the fifth box, they were $669.99.
Wow.
For the tickets. Plus another $120.
The fourth or fifth, there's Columbus
Weekend
Owners Club weekend VIP,
weekend VIP.
but that's only for the weekend.
Wait, no, hold on. What did I buy? Hold on.
Weekend field, weekend stadium. It's weekend passes, single day passes, suites.
Wait, no, where is it?
VIP details, suite details, hotel packages. Maybe they're sold out. They're not on the list anymore.
Maybe they're not. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. So what I bought is okay. Yeah. So it's a weekend 4-day VIP. It was $669. Yeah. So I just think there's a whole nother webpage you go to buy the stuff. I just think that they named that thing wrong.
Okay.
Yeah. So yeah, 4-day VIP plus $120. $140 for parking.
Now is that? But be real though. For the amount of bands you're going to see, is that good value for money?
It's a little on the high end, but I'm okay with that for the convenience and like. And I would not have gone if I could not have gotten the VIP ticket. Like I wouldn't have done it. I wouldn't have done it because like the VIP ticket gets me access to either the general admission or I can go sit down if I'm feeling old. They have air conditioned areas. They have toilets that flush.
I wonder how what are you gonna get to drink? It's gonna be hot, bro.
It's gonna be hot. I'm honestly probably not gonna drink that much. Probably mostly just water, maybe a couple of beers.
Okay.
Nothing crazy.
I can't wait. I can't wait to hear about this.
Yeah.
So, all right, so 158 days away.
Mm-hmm.
Well, good for you. I mean, way to treat yourself, though.
Yeah, it's all about Paul.
Well, it should be.
Mm-hmm.
All right, I'm excited for you. Congratulations on your big decision.
Thank you.
More to come on that. So let's wrap.
Let's wrap it up.
Yep.
Hey, thanks for listening. Go to doingtheirbest.com. You can find email, show notes, social links, whatever you need. Hey, and for the 50 plus of you that are going to download this episode, thanks for listening.